Hey, it's me, Jessica, and today I'm doing a video on my unpopular Pokemon opinions. But yeah, now that the K-pop unpopular opinion trend is dying, I'm just gonna bring it back with Pokemon, and let's just jump into it. Number 1, I'm glad they got rid of Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Sun and Moon. And Z moves are better than Mega Evolutions. So the reason I find that Z moves are better than Mega Evolutions, of course there are specific Z moves for specific Pokemon, but basically any Pokemon can do a Z move as long as you have that Z crystal. With Mega Evolutions, you kind of feel a pressure to get a Pokemon that has one, otherwise you feel like you're at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Z moves, as long as you have the Z crystal for that specific type of Pokemon, you can literally have any Pokemon you want do a Z move. It's just so much better, and there was just so many Pokemon that didn't need a Mega Evolution. Cough cough, basically every dragon Mega Evolution. Cough cough. Number 2, the Reggie trio are overrated and boring. I've thought this for as long as I can remember since I played Pokemon Ruby on the Game Boy Advance. Like, I just don't like them. The only redeemable qualities for them are probably their stats and how they do in battle. But in terms of their looks, they're just rocks, ice, and metal. It's just so boring. A lot of Pokemon have themes of inanimate objects being ice, metal, rock, or whatever. But the difference between the trio and Pokemon that are based off inanimate objects is that they have a likability towards them in terms of their aesthetics, and there's just nothing there. They just look like these cold robots, and maybe that's what people like about them, but I prefer Pokemon that kind of has a face and a personality. Like, these Pokemon are just so bland and cold, and I get that's probably the concept of them, but I just think that's so boring. Like, I wish they had a little bit more about them. Comparing it to Mewtwo, who was also very cold, there was still like a cold personality, a backstory, and a better design. So yeah, I hate this trio. Number 3, Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon are the best Pokemon games, period. And I have many reasons for this. First of all, the trials weren't as bad as everyone says. People always go on about them being repetitive and they want gyms back, but people aren't complaining when they have to battle 3 trainers who train the exact same Pokemon 3 times and then a gym leader. Like, how is that not repetitive too? Like, come on, sis. Secondly, the graphics. Let's just talk about the graphics. Like, so much better than the old Pokemon games. They really stepped it up. Like, come on now. Thirdly, they got rid of HMs and used the Pokeride system, which is just so much better. I was so tired of having a Pokemon using up my 6th slot just for HMs. Like, I'm so glad they got rid of that. Fourth, they scrapped Mega Evolution, and obviously I'm not going to go into this because I already did, but yeah, Z moves are just so much better. And they also pandered to all the nostalgia freaks by having Alola forms. And Alola forms are just such a better way of bringing back old Pokemon in a new way. And lastly, there was a storyline you actually had to follow. Like with some of the games, I just felt like I could just go through the game and get the gist of the storyline where the evil teams capture the legendary Pokemon, you get it back, and everything's good again. Like, that's not all games, and I do like most of the games, but I like how they kind of changed it up with the, you know, storyline. But don't get me wrong, I basically like nearly all of the Pokemon games. I'm not hating on any specific Pokemon game. I just think that Pokemon Sun was just such a big step up from the other ones. Number 4, nowadays I only watch the anime for Team Rocket and some of the battles. So this probably may not be an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people probably think this, but after Brock left, trash. Silent, trash. Black and white anime, trash. The one thing that didn't change about the anime for me was Team Rocket. They've always stayed the same goofy selves. I love them, they're the comic relief, and they make the anime watchable. So, oh my god, I have a little story time for you guys. After Gen 4, I stopped watching the anime and only focused on the games. I kind of left the anime for dead. And then one day, I just decided to randomly watch the Sun and Moon anime after I finished the game, just to see how the characters from the game would translate into the anime. And in my first playthrough of Sun and Moon, it took me literally ages to get Mimikyu because I kept on running out of Pokeballs, and the encounter rate for Mimikyu, ugh, it's ridiculous. And then finally, after ages, I caught the Mimikyu with a luxury ball. And literally, I was so shook because the exact same thing happened to Jessie. Like, she took ages to catch the Mimikyu and then she finally caught it with a luxury ball. Like, I think that is just such a crazy coincidence. Like, my name's Jessica, Jessie, luxury ball, Mimikyu. Like, it's mad, you know? So yeah, that really made the Pokemon anime even better for me, and the fact that my favorite character has my all-time favorite Pokemon and we caught it in the same way, like, girl, It's mad, you know. Stan Team Rocket. We've been a Team Rocket stan since day one. But yeah, I don't understand why they had to make Ash even more immature than he already is. I know that the target audience is mainly for kids, but even as a kid, I always leaned towards the characters that were really like badass and cool, so I really don't understand why they felt the need. Like, kids would have still watched it, you know? Number 5. While Pokemon Sun and Moon are my favorite games, Generation 4 is still the best generation to me. The starter trio, iconic. If we're being real here, I don't like Mega Evolutions, but the Gen 4 starter trio was the trio that deserved the Mega Evolution. I also felt that Elite Four, the gyms, and Cynthia were some of the best set of people in the Pokemon League. Like, oh my god, remember when battling the champion was like actually hard? The game was fun. I really liked what they did in Platinum with the whole upside down world. I can't remember the name, so sue me. In some cases, the game isn't as good as the anime, and the anime isn't as good as the game. But in Generations 4 case, they are equals, they are everything, and it's the best generation. And I'm just speaking facts here, guys. Sorry. Like, I think one of my favorite things out of the Generation 4 anime is definitely Dawn's character evolution. Like, the glow up. Like, girl, you slayed it. And that's all for now. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and make sure to follow me on the socials. It was nice speaking to you guys. Bye bye.